Bit of history in this match for Central District, becoming the first club to have an 11-game winning streak over Port Adelaide. The storied history of the Magpies, and no team until now has been able to win 11 games in a row. Although they were competitive at times this afternoon, the Magpies certainly a setback in the opening quarter. 9 shots to 1 in favour of the Doggies.
Yeah, the Doggies jumped out of the blocks. They were fantastic early in the game. They controlled the footy, quick movement of the footy. Their pressure on the Magpies was fantastic, and they thoroughly deserved their victory. And a lot of the goals came way too easy for Tony Bamford's liking. They were out of the corridor. Here's Williams that turns one around the corner. And at this stage of the game, you feared for the Magpies. The Doggies were in complete control. Their on-ballers were dominating. Their tall marking forwards taking marks at will. And done with that raking left foot, finishes off beautifully here. And at this stage of the game, you thought, how far the Doggies?
28 points the margin at quarter time, and then bang, almost out of nowhere, the Magpies started to work. Now, this was their only goal in that opening, or this was their start of their comeback in the second quarter, I should say, with Brett Ebert kicking the goal here. And he had a little bit of a purple patch. Josh Thurgood kicked a couple as well, and all of a sudden they were up and running and about, and the margin was reduced back to 5 points by half-time.
Yeah, certainly in the second and third quarters, they had their opportunities, just some poor decision-making, not making the most of their opportunities, and the professionalism of the Dogs realistically couldn't put some scoreboard pressure on them. And come to the last quarter, when the game was up for grabs, it was the senior leaders of the Central District Footy Club, and there's James Gowns, who just turns one around the corner. Paul Thomas was fantastic in that last quarter, and in the end, it was a comfortable victory for the Dogs.
We can just see how the game turned around from 28 points up at quarter time to 5 points up at half time for Centrals. But they were never really, well, they never were headed. It got back to 3 points at stages in that third term, but they led by 13 at three-quarter time, and in the end, they closed the game down and closed the game out to lead and win by 25 points.
As we look at those stats, they favour the Magpies, which is interesting. 49 inside 50s of 42, but they let themselves down with their decision-making and their efficiency as they went forward.
Centrals, come on, they find stride. Team Ricky's a thing to talk. 4, 3, 2, 1 for all and all for once. Away we play at Central. We are the mighty fighting Dogs.